Ladies and gentlemen, hey, welcome to RENEBOXYOUNG, a platform where we simply discuss, critique, and analyze. Simply talk about sport of boxing in a level-headed, mature, coherent fashion. Subscribers since day one, recent subscribers, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Flash Lives, previously scheduled lives such as this, which with a wonderful special guest. Thank you guys so much, man, for all your support. You know what I'm saying? And I want to get right to this and take advantage of time because we have a very special guest, right? His name is Ray Corona, Popeye, also known as Popeye. I don't know if you've seen him in several fights. I have. I've seen him in lots of fights, man. And I always wondered, like, hey, who's this guy, man? It's this ref. You know, sometimes I wonder about the refs, you know? And now it's like, you know, they don't really have social media. Ray Corona does. So you can follow him. I just actually, as a matter of fact, and those who will tune in the playback also, check the description, the comment section, and there's his link. Okay, so, and I'll also put it later after this show. I'm gonna put his link in the description also of this show, so y'all can go subscribe and follow him, man. Definitely. So, hey, without further ado, Ray Corona, ref, how you doing, OG? Oh, sorry about that. I had the mic on mute. Once again, bro, how you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely, bro. And like
Real
I said,
quick,
man.
Get this music off.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, I'll turn it off. Hold on, man. Yeah, I got it. There you go. It's off now. Right on, bro. How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. Thank you for having me, Renee. Appreciate it.
No, thank you for your time, bro. Your jet lag, you know, you across the country, you know, what happened where were you?
I went to Bangkok, Thailand for a strawweight fight. I mean, those guys in strawweight, I think I was born heavier than them, you know? But it was an action-packed fight, a Japanese against a Thailand, and man, they knocked each other down twice. And they stopped it in the 7th round, but it was a great fight, bro. Great fight.
Man, let's just jump right into it. I love it. This is exactly why, you know, and I saw you on social media. I was like, man, who is this? You know, and I was like, oh no, this is the ref that I've seen many times in fights. He has social media. What? And then I saw you first on Instagram. It was like a recommendation or whatever, right? And I was like, hey, wait, the ref got a IG profile. And then I saw you got YouTube. I was like, are you kidding me? And then I saw who you're interviewing. I was like, oh my gosh. I got to contact the OG. You know what I'm saying? So real quick, man, let me salute those who are jumping in. Skywalker, I see you, bro. Thanks so much for jumping in the building. The whole TWT team, you already know, man. We appreciate your support. You guys have been supporting so much. Man, we appreciate the whole TWT family, man. Thanks so much, Skywalker, be careful in your work. Y'all know what it is, man. DP Rocket, my guy. What's going on, bro? Hey, we got a wonderful guest, bro. If you guys got questions, type them away because he's a ref, man. He's been reffing since 1998, man. He's an OG. He's a veteran in the sport of boxing, refereeing a lot of fights. You also refereed the Mike Tyson and Roy Jones fight, right?
Yeah. I'm surprised you recognized me. I had a mask on, you know?
Yeah, I recognize you. Yeah, and lots of fights, bro. I remember you in several fights, man. I don't remember all the specific fights, but did you? I think you refed also the Regis Prograis fight recently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were just there in New Orleans. Definitely, man. DP Rocket, salute, man. Thank you guys so much. Jab Jamboree, the act, back on the attack. What's going on, Jab? Hey, here's the link to the ref's YouTube page, okay? Go subscribe, those who are jumping in. Once again, the Playback family, also just go to the comment section, and also I'm going to put in the description of this live session for the Playback family. Also, go subscribe, man. Go support him. He's referencing big names, man. Y'all gotta go. And this is the thing about it, ref. This is the thing I love about your channel and what you're bringing, bro. You're bringing something new to this whole YouTube boxing community, they call it. Things that we need to know, things that we say as boxing fans, and I include myself, things that we ignorantly say sometimes, you know, when it comes to social media. Yeah.
Renee, thank you for being so humble and saying that, because that's what my page is about, is just hearing our perspective. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? That says a lot about your character. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. And I always say, man, I'm the one who knows the least about the sport. You know, I'm just here to learn. I love it. And that's what his page is about, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? And who else better to learn from a ref? I mean, you know, I think his first show on his channel was with Jack Reese, man. And they broke down a lot of things. One of the things they broke down was something that we ignorantly say out there. Oh, Why did they give, Tyson Fury so many seconds? It was like a 20-second count. And he breaks it all down, man. Mr. Reese breaks it all down, man. And they break so many more things down on all these shows. I haven't even touched I haven't even scratched the surface with this channel, man. There's so much content there. And it's not so many videos, but the interviews in themselves have so many nuggets. Y'all gotta go share this up, man, please. Okay, so first, man, let's start with this. Ref. Once again, you've been reffing since 1998, minus 1 year. Okay, we'll see if we can get to that. But what got you in the sport of boxing, and when did you start getting into it, and and all that, man?
Back in 94, I think it was 94. I seen I wasn't going to be a fighter. So Ben Lira was my trainer in South El Monte, and I seen I wasn't going to go anywhere, but anyways, I told him, I think I want to be a referee. And so he told me to get in the amateurs, excuse me. But it's crazy how God has a plan, and I sat on the sideline for 5 years in the amateurs, never refereed. May she rest in peace. Melody was the lead in Southern California, and for whatever reason, I wasn't living right. I was still involved in the gangs, and so what, I can't necessarily blame her, but she had me sit on the sideline for 5 years. So after the 5 years, I went back to Ben. I said, hey, I want to be a pro then. They're not letting me do the amateurs. So he made a couple phone calls, and it just so happened that year, 1997, they were talking about starting a training as what they have now. And Jack Reese, he has that arbiter sport. He gives that class. Well, it wasn't called that then, but so the rule was if you wanted to be a referee, there was no guarantee. You had to come for a whole year. Every Saturday, you could not miss. No excuses, unless there was a death in the family. So I went every Saturday to downtown LA, and we trained. We took scores and you needed to go to all the pro fights on your own dollar. So that's what I did. But it's funny you say that because my background, I was pretty much state raised, youth authority, camp, juvenile hall, prison. I'm not saying I'm no killer. I'm no killer. Just I was always in fights. My thing was fighting. So I'm not going to portray myself as some killer. But I just was always involved in the neighborhood. So with that said, it was funny when I was telling homies that, hey, I'm going to try to be a pro referee. They were like, come on, man, really? And I don't know if they were being negative or haters. I don't think they were being haters. They were just like, come on, they're not going to let us be anywhere near that. Go. So anyways, for a whole year I went, and they took a test. We had to take a test. We got in the ring, and we had a referee, and they did scenarios. They wouldn't tell us what they were doing. They did scenarios. So anyways, they said, all right, well, there was about 40 of us, and there was only 6 spots open. So when I drove home, and honestly, brother, I just I gave it a shot. It's not going to happen. They had said, we'll send you a letter if you made it or not. Either way, they'll send us a letter. So you know what? Thank God I had a wife that supported me. And a month later, that letter came, and I was like a kid trying to get into college, So I got it. And again, I wasn't a Christian then, but I said, you know what, God, this is a dream for me, man. So I opened it up and said, congratulations, So, but mind you, all the other referees are sheriffs, detectives, district attorneys, firemen. Jack Reed's a retired fire chief. So when I went the next week, it was they pretty much told me, if you bring any shame to the state, we'll turn our back on you. We're giving you a chance. So I got in, bro. I guess the rest is history.
So in the training that you had was a solid year, going to pro fights also. What, like the training, what did it consist of exactly?
They'd show us fights, and we'd have to score them and explain why we felt the referee did what he did or the score was that. They were really controversial fights. And as a referee, would you have stopped that fight earlier? Would you have let it go on? And why, you know. It wasn't just like, oh, I would have let it go on. Oh, okay, no, explain why, you know. So that's what we pretty much had to do, you know. And you know what, I feel it was God's plan, but I think the reason I made it as far as refereeing is, you know, again, I grew up in the gang culture, and we grew up in the gangs, you know. So when there'd be 15, 20 good friends, we always had these two friends that were always bickering. Everybody has buddies. You always have two friends that are just constantly
Facts.
bickering. We're all friends. We're all friends, but they're just constantly bickering. Finally, one day we're all having beers. They usually, oh, well, you know what? F you. And they start fighting. Well, I think that's the way I look at fighters. I like them both. And you got to know when to say, hey, I like them both, but he proved his point. Now it's time to stop the fight. You know what I mean? And that's the way I looked at it, you know. And so far, so good, you know. I mean, I probably stopped a couple of fights, maybe too early when I look at them, replay. But mind you, in my defense and in the officials' defense, we got to make split decisions, brother.
Yep.
And and if you don't make that split decision, be decisive and stick to your guns, the fighter can be killed, literally. I mean, think about it, Renee. As a fan, what's the sole purpose of boxing? You're the other one opponent's literally trying to hurt the other one, literally. You know what I mean? Same with MMA. I do a little MMA as well. They're literally trying to hurt each other, and it's a brutal sport, man. And as a referee, we got to make that decision. We got to stick by it. This is why when a referee does stop a fight too early, I always say, you know, show him grace, bro. Show him grace. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm jumping ahead, but lately on my YouTube channel, everybody's saying, well, we should have instant replay. Well, you guys as fans need to push it out there. I have no objections to an instant replay. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. And what's wrong with having an instant replay? You know what I mean? I mean, you can't have it. Obviously, you can't have it like in football where they throw a red flag and the time stops. You can't do that with boxing. You'll give the opponent that's losing, obviously, an extra time. It can't be like that. What it is after the bell rings, let's just say it was a knockdown, but his corner saying, no, that wasn't a knockdown. Between rounds, you got to check instant replay. And within that 1 minute rest period, you might need to make a decision. Hey, ref, you were wrong. That was a slip. Or, hey, ref, that was a knockdown. And we can change the scorecards. But I really think I'm not trying to say we're perfect, you know, and any referee that says he's perfect, in my opinion, it shouldn't be in there, you know. But if the fans really want it, then push it. You know what I mean?
I think instant replay has been applied though, hasn't it? Yeah. I remember a fight recently. I don't remember which one, and I can't put the name of who was fighting, but it was I do remember it was a WBC kind of ordained event. Yeah, and they did the replay thing. Huh?
Well, on the fight I did in New Orleans, Progress, is that a name? So I don't know if you remember the first round, Progress got
Right.
hit with a right hand. Now, mind you, now mind you, jumping ahead, I called it a push. So right after, you know, because again, I'm not perfect. Right after, before I handed the scorecards, when I picked up the scorecards, I told each three judges, "Did you see a knockdown?" Two of them said, "I seen a push knockdown. I seen a punch push." One judge said, "All I seen was a push." So the majority was on my side. Now, mind you, he did get hit with a good right hand. He did start going down, but I can't assume that he was going to go down. And then the other fighter just ran him over. So, you know,
Mm.
and in my defense, did it change the outcome of the fight? Because literally after, I forget his name, literally the guy that fought Progress, he just ran 11 rounds. He made the fight boring, you know? So now, mind you, if it was a game changer, he lost that fight because of them saying I missed a knockdown. Well, you know, I'd be the first to say, do the instant replay, you know? So, but again, all three judges said that it was a punch push. All right. It wasn't a punch that knocked him down. It was he ran him over. Progress tried to hold him and he kept going forward, ran him over. So
Ah.
I can't assume that he was going to fall, you know? That's
You
my
know,
opinion.
and that's awesome because I was going to ask that too about the, the reason and that you just brought out. Awesome. Real quick, man. Let me switch to chat. My brother's keeper, Jab Jamboree. I see DP Rocket Man Skywalker. Hey, once again, fam, go sub to the ref. I'm telling you, these are gems that the YouTube, and not just YouTube, freaking all boxing fans, you know what I'm saying? They need this right here. I'm telling you, man, he's coming out with wonderful content that we need to know and hear as boxing fans. Because like I said, I got to repeat this, man. Like us, like me, I have said some ignorant things when it comes to like, oh, the ref should have done this, and it's part of the game. It's part of the game. In football, you see it, yeah. In baseball, you see it. Soccer, oh, the ref, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But hey, the ref clarifies all this stuff, man. So real quick, man, thank you guys so much. Yeah, go ahead.
That on that note, Renee, I call it barbershop talk. And it's cool to have barbershop talk. It's cool to say, hey, Ray dropped the ball. He missed that. That's cool. But when they come disrespectful and oh, you should never work again, then I say it back. Well, what holds you to be so judgmental of me? Are you a referee? Do you know the rules? But if it's just barbershop, like, hey, Ray, I think, because again, on my Instagram, on my YouTube, I had like 5 comments. Hey, Ray, you missed that knockdown. I said, all right, respectfully, that's your opinion, They were very respectful, but 2 of them were like, you should never work again. I go, really? I got 800 and something fights, and now I need to be fired, And this is what I want to do. I want to educate the fans, and I hope I'm not out of line, Renee. This is where Jack is giving his class on refereeing, and he's asking for all you YouTubers, all you commentators, take his class, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Take his class, bro. And then you'll get on there and say, no, you know what? As much as I don't agree with that, that's the rule. We can't make up our own rules. So you could literally say, you know what? I don't agree with that. But unfortunately, that's the rule.
That's facts. That's facts. I'm telling you, I could go on hours with you here, man. Oh my gosh, Mac of the South. Thank you guys so much for jumping in, man. I see you. Also, whatever, man. Hey, salute, bro. I don't think I've seen you before. Go ahead and sub to the channel and sub to the ref. I'm gonna be saying that throughout the whole show, you guys. Sub to the ref, man. Come on now. This is amazing stuff right here, man. The guys, everybody, salute. If you guys got any questions, throw them out there, man. Okay, so you were talking about what was the whole thing? I didn't get that clear when you said when you wanted to get into this game. You know what I'm saying? You were on the sidelines as an amateur. Do you mean that you were on the sidelines as an amateur to fight or as a ref?
No, as a ref. As a ref, when I asked Melody, she was in charge of Southern California USA amateur boxing. She just wouldn't let me referee. But again, back then I was still doing drugs. I was still involved in the gangs, and I don't know. I never confronted her about it, and she passed away. And I'm not going to talk negative of her, but it turned out right. Because her not letting me pushed me to go to the pros, and it was a shot in the dark. But me as a Christian now, God had a plan, bro. You know what I mean?
Right. There was a divine plan and all. Exactly. So okay, you're in pros now. You've been doing this since 98, man. Jack Reese has a program where he, and I saw that, yeah, on that session, and I think it was your first interview on the channel. You interviewed Jack Reese, man, and he talked about it and he expounded upon how, and he called everyone out. He said, all you fans too, come on. Come and learn. You know what I'm saying? So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. The sport of boxing has open doors, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, whoever wants to walk in it, you know what I'm saying? And who's serious about it, so I also saw that on your IG profile that I think you judged some fights too, right?
I'm not that great of a judge though, bro. But yeah, I've judged a few fights. I judge MMA more than I do boxing. But yeah, I've judged a few fights.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Oh, okay, DP Rocker right here, real quick. And I got so many more questions too, but DP Rocker says here he's asking you, ref, about the Rolly stoppage. I remember. I don't think you were not reffing that fight, if I remember correctly. Rolly versus what was his name? Barrosos, right? Did you see the fight, ref?
Yes, I did. And first of all, let me say my opinion. Tony Weeks is an excellent referee. Tony Weeks has done mega fights, history-making fights. The first one my best fight I've ever seen, Diego Corrales Castillo. You know what I mean? That was a history-making fight. With that said, Tony Weeks did get. I interviewed him myself, and then the very next day he had that fight. But Tony Weeks got interviewed a couple weeks, I think 2 weeks after his fight, and he said he had to take into consideration the age factor of I forget his name. What's his name?
Barroso.
He took the age factor. But again, you know what? I'm not perfect. He's not perfect. But do you think instant replay? Let me throw the question right back. Do you think the instant replay would have helped in that particular thing? Let's just say if this is a scenario, he stopped the fight, and Borracha's corner said, "No, why did you stop it?" And Tony Weeks would have to explain by rules, well, I think he was taking too many punches. Now, instant replay can be instant. So within 3 minutes, they could say, do you really want to stick to your guns, call this a stoppage? He could have said yes or no. If he would have said no, the fight would have continued. Now, he would have had that 3-minute extra rest. I'm sure fans would have said, well, he had rest. Now he comes back. But we could figure it out as we go along, you know. There's going to be bumps, and it's just like football. You know, they have the red flag in NFL football to do an instant replay. They're getting rest. Imagine those linemen that are blocking, play after play after play after play. That's stressful on their body. They get tired. So when they throw a red flag out there, and their instant replays literally go 4 or 5 minutes. So you know, we could figure it out. And this is where I say, if you fans really want to be critical of officials, judges, and referees, start putting it out there. Let's get instant replay for all fights. You know what I mean? All fights. But they do in California do it for the title fights.
Yeah, and like I said, I think I remember also some, like I said, I can't put the names on it, but I do recall some instant replays. I think one was, I think there was one in a Top Rank event with, I think it was Maloney versus Franco, one of those fights. They had like 3 fights. So I think there was an instant replay in one of those. So I've seen them time to time, the instant replays. They do happen, you know, but like you said, okay, so push instant replays. How can that go about? For example, if a community wants to go out there and say, hey, we want to push for instant replays, do they send a letter? Do they call an organization or something?
Here, I don't really know how that would work, but I do know how it works. It has to be implemented in the rules. As an option to each corner, you have an option. If you don't agree with the official's rule, you have an option for an instant replay. But we're not going to do it just because. But the commission, in my opinion, the commission could say, no, we're not going to give you that. For the simple fact, what if it's a hard back and forth fight? Let's look at that scenario. Hard back and forth. And it happens. The corner's like, you know what? Let's call an instant replay to get our fighter a little rest. See, that wouldn't work.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So that's where whoever's in charge, sitting ringside, which is the State Athletic Commission in California, to toot our own horn, we've been complimenting how we are strict here, bro. Every state, we are strict here. We have the most fights in the whole world. Japan is only the one next to us, but we have the most fights. Now Nevada has the mega fights, and they'll have like 25, 30 mega fights a year. We'll have like 20. You know, we can't beat the casinos. But as far as shows, we have more shows, MMA and boxing. But yes, if somebody calls it instant replay, if the sideline lead inspector says, no, there's no need for an instant replay on that, then you're not going to get it. And that's where it needs to be implemented in the rules, you know. The ABC rules, WBC could do it as well, because when it's a title fight, you go by WBC rules. I did 2 title fights in the last 2 weeks. It was the WBC rules. But besides that, it's called the ABC rules. Any of the fans could look it up. ABC, go on the website, and it'll tell you each rule. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So since 1998, you've been reffing. We talked a little bit backstage, briefly. And hey, mind you, fam, the ref, he's in jet lag. He just came from, where'd you come from? Tokyo?
No, Thailand.
Thailand. Wow, he just came from Thailand, fam. So Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's jet lagged a little bit. So we honor you, bro. We thank you so much for being, taking time out for this, bro. Definitely. And this is what I love, man. Just the sport of boxing. We chop it up, here on the channel. And so hey, like I said, man, I got so many freaking questions, man. I don't know what was okay, you're in there as a ref. You're the third man in the ring. Shouts out to Jimmy Lennon Jr. You had him on the channel, man. Amazing interview. Amazing. What a gentleman. What a gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a gentleman, bro.
If you open my YouTube page, he did a ring announcement for me. Man, that really like touched home, bro. You know what I mean?
Man, wow. I love it. I love it. What for you? Okay, so you're in there, man. You're the third man in the ring. What? Like I said, bro, you have, and I think you mentioned it in one of your shows. I think you mentioned it in one of your shows that you have the best seat in the house, bro. You're right in there watching the fight, man. You're right. Jeez Louise. You see things we as fans don't see. You intimately see the freaking fight. You see things sometimes maybe judges don't see, what is something that you remember, something that has, stuck to your mind until today with all your experiences reffing, and reffing, what's something that has stuck to you while in that ring? A punch, something said by a fighter, I don't know, the corner.
Did you see this is recently, like 2 months ago, Fundora versus Mendoza?
Yeah.
Well, literally, and this is how, again, to toot California's horn, that was a 12-round fight. And if the fighter's losing, even if he's fighting back, if he's losing 8 of those 12 rounds, it's pretty much, hey, bro, he needs a knockout, or, you know what I mean? Or get him out of there because he's getting the crap beat out of him. Well, mind you, Mark Raylia, our lead inspector, he'll tell any of us, what that means is like, he's been losing, even though he's fighting back, try to find a way to get him out of there. And Fundora was just putting hands on Mendoza. He just was busting him up the way Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. would do. He beat you up over rounds. He was beating up Mendoza, bro. And as God is my witness, I think it was the 6th round, the end of the 6th round. I gave the cards to Mark Raylia, and he goes, Ray. And I told myself, man, he is getting beat up, but he keeps fighting back. How am I going to stop this? Do I have to stop it? Should I say, because it's still our call, should I say, you know what? No. And he turned around and came out and knocked out Fundora, and a crazy knockout at that. You know what I mean? So that sticks out in my mind just recently because just the way it went down, they literally were telling me, you need to get this guy Mendoza out of there. He's getting socked up. He was busted up in his nose. He was spitting out blood. He was taking a lot of body shots, and he just wasn't phasing Fundora. And Fundora came out, and I can't speak for Fundora, but Mendoza caught him with that left hand right hook, man. And he dropped like a towering inferno, That was crazy.
Those are critical moments, man, that we don't see and understand as fans. You're in there, you're in the heat of the moment, adrenaline's probably pumping, you're hearing the corners, you're hearing them scream, and you had to make a decisive decision. They were even telling you, hey, Ray, they were kind of telling you, when to stop the fight, bro. It's your call, man. You know what I'm saying? And then thanks to you let it go on and pop. That was a vicious knockout, man. So that's something memorable that you remember recently,
and the
right?
funny, I don't know if it's funny, but everybody, because when I was counting Fundora, everybody said, what did he say to you? And when I knelt down, he goes, I got caught, huh, Ray? I go, yeah, you did, Mio. You know what I mean? It was crazy the way because he looked at me and smiled, and he said, I got caught, huh, Ray? I go, yeah, you did.
So that goes to show that the fighter goes out, blacks out, bam. Oh, wow, dude. So he caught him and I think it was a left hook. Bam, dude. Man, that's crazy. Hey, Teach, thank you so much for jumping in the building. Yeah, thank you, DP Rocca. Yeah, good point, ref. Definitely, man. Definitely. I'm just learning from the ref right here. Teach, salute, man. Thanks so much. Yeah, Teach says here, my guy Fundora lost. I think a lot of people were upset. I think, yeah, go ahead.
Really think that he's going to come back stronger. I really think, I can't speak on upcoming fights, or all I could say is he's a strong kid, and I know he's going to come back strong. I don't even know if there's a a rematch clause in that. But I would like to see it, watch it. I like to watch it as a fan. You know what I mean? I like to watch that one.
And when you're in there, bro, another question that came up, man. And this ref, he came in. I think he kind of like came in while you were interviewing Mr. Jimmy Lennon Jr. I think he came in. I think he did during the interview, and he had
Tom.
some things to say. Yeah. I think his name's Tom, right? That ref.
Yes.
I think I saw him in a fight. It was a long time ago, right? I think he got punched, man, during a fight. I think it was him. Bam, he got clocked, man. I don't know what fight it was, and I'm not sure if it was that ref, but I think it was him, man. But what I'm trying to get at is this, man. Have you ever gotten hit in a fight, man?
No, I fell, but that was a little embarrassing. But I just rolled with it. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I've never.
How did you fall? What happened?
The commentator from DAZN, what's his name?
Yeah, the long-haired guy.
No, the snake.
Oh yeah, Sergio Martinez.
Sergio Mora. Sergio Mora.
Oh, Mora, yeah.
So you can look it up on YouTube. It's actually Sergio Mora at Morongo Casino. He had his opponent against the ropes, hitting him, and I went to jump in, and he moved back. At the same time, I went to jump in, and my foot caught his foot, and man, I just landed right on my back, bro. And the crowd laughed. And I just shook it off and got up, smiled, rolled the punches. But you think you're having a bad day, watch that one, huh? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And
that one, national TV as well.
Well, it happens. It's part of it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and thankfully you haven't gotten punched, man, because there are some, ref, Butterbean, the heavyweight, I think his name was Butterbean, years ago. That dude knocked the ref out, bam, and I was like, dang, man, those kinds of things make me respect what you do, man. It's like, gee, a lot of people don't think about that. Yeah, go ahead.
I could be wrong. The fight you're talking about, Lawrence Cole was the referee. He got hit. Tom.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, Tom didn't get hit. It was Lawrence Cole. He had walked in to break it, and the guy hit him with a hook.
Yeah,
right?
that one. Yeah. He walked in to break. Ouch, man.
Playing around. I'm going to tell Tom, you know how you white guys all look alike, eh? I'll tell him.
Yeah, because he did. That's what it kind of looked like. That's what made me think it was him. Oh, man. So, hey, so you just came back from Taiwan, okay? So, what about, Jang, bro? I'm sure you've traveled all over. What's a place that you really remember that really sticks to you, a place you traveled to for a fight?
London. I went to London. I've been and this goes back to, I thank God, from a kid growing up in boys' home, juvenile hall, youth authority, or camp, youth authority, prison. I've been to places all over the world, and who would have thought, God is good, you know what I mean? London was nice, Panama, Italy, I went to Italy. So, I've been to a lot of places, bro. A lot of places. But then again, if I don't have my wife with me, bro, I kind of man.
It's not the same, man.
It's like going to the walk-in by yourself. It's not the same. You got to have somebody there to enjoy it with, But don't get me wrong. I'm grateful to go to these places, get paid to go there. And, it's an experience.
But what do you do? Okay, so what's your ritual? That's the next question I had, man. And, I have all these mental notes and questions in my mind. What's your ritual? Okay, you go to an event, you sign in or whatever. I don't know, right? You go to the stadium. What do you do? Do you stay there for the undercard before your fight? You're watching the fight. What do you do exactly? What's the deal there?
In California, we all have a show up time, and we're all going to show up all at the same time even if you have the world title fight, you're still going to be there on time. In case an official gets hurt, you got to cover for him, But that morning, that day I'm really into my health now. I'm going to be 60 in July. But I go to the gym in the morning, if I go to work, I'm a truck driver for UPS. And T-Force now. They got sold to T-Force. But anyways, I go to the gym, I work out. And the day of the fight, I just show up on time, and you got to blase, kick back, be on your A game, But that's pretty much it. Eat right and stay trim as much as I can,
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. So we got here, Teach saying the look on my face because Fundora was, yeah, of course, and that was I think that was the majority of people who were watching that fight. That's the ref with the good chin, right? I think so. I don't know, the one who got punched in the face, right? Yeah, he took it like a champ, man. He took that punch, man. I was like, geez, Louise, bro, and I think he cursed. He like went like this, oh, whatever he said, right? And he was like, ugh. You know, and then he continued. He took it like a champ, bro. Like I said, I don't know who it was. What was his name again?
Lawrence Cole.
Cole. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He took it like a champ,
Kind of
man. Man,
Tom in a way. Kind of resembles Tom Taylor.
he does. Yeah, that's why I thought it was him. That's why I thought it was him. I did think it was him. Hey, real quick. When you were reffing the Roy Jones Jr. Mike Tyson fight, obviously they're not in their prime. It's been, a long time since they really, well, Roy Jones, he seems like he's been a little bit more active in his age and stuff. But when you were reffing that fight, did you like feel the punch? I mean, there was a lot of clinching in the fight and stuff like that, but did you feel being close there? It's kind of weird to sound like that, but did you feel the power of Mike Tyson when he was going to Roy Jones' body?
Now, real quick, when they gave me the fight, I was grateful. It was only an exhibition, so you can only stop the fight. You can't take a point. So, but it didn't really phase me. And let me get to where it's going. It didn't phase me. But then when we got in the ring, remember how Mike Tyson would walk back and forth, and look at it? He started doing that. So when he did that, that's when I felt how do you say, the aura of Mike Tyson. I go, wow, that's Mike Tyson, man. You know what I mean? God is good. I get to referee Mike Tyson. And in my opinion, Mike Tyson wanted to fight. But once Roy Jones got hit with a body shot, he's like, nope, I ain't going to do this with this guy. You know what I mean? And it was Roy that wanted to hold. And Mike Tyson wanted to go out there and really hurt, I wouldn't say hurt him, but he wanted to win every round decisively. And the only way you could do that is you got to box, but Roy Jones didn't want none. You know what I mean? But Mike Tyson, very polite, very, very cool person. I'm going to try to get him on my show one day.
Oh, that would be fun. I mean, as it is, you already have amazing guests. Amazing. Like I'm telling y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Like I say, go to the comment section, family, right here in this channel right now, in the stream right there. Bam. Go sub to him. Go sub. And like I said, after this, a little later today, I'm going to put in the description of this show his links to Instagram and also to YouTube. Y'all go. Yeah, definitely. Go share it, family. Go share it. Another question I had.
I'll be speaking on your about your podcast on Sundays when I go live, brother.
Oh, hey, humbled.
No,
I'm humbled, bro. Humbled, definitely.
One hand always washes the other, in my opinion.
That's facts, bro. That's facts. Loyalty. That's facts, bro. That's love right there, man. Hey, ref, I was gonna ask also, how do you know? Okay, here's the thing. You talked a little bit about it with Jack Reese, Mr. Reese, about like training and this aspect when it comes to. I mean, Jack Reese is a vet, man. I would love, good Lord willing, one day to go one of those conferences, one of those, oh man, I would learn so much. How would you know when it comes to the health aspect? You're watching these fighters. How would you know if they're concussed? What do you look for? Okay, a fighter gets up, 5 count, 5, 6, and they're standing. What are you looking for, man?
Well, this goes to the explanation about the Tyson Fury fight. When he laid out, remember the first fight, he laid out like a cross, bro. And he just put his head up.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I'm not blowing smoke up you or Jack. I probably would have called the fight, bro. But Jack, his experience, training, he counted, and then Tyson got up. And then what did he tell him? And this is where we as referees, it's called doing the right thing for boxing. He could have just, you're out. But he told him, walk over there. Walk to your left, walk to your right. And he did it. And look at the fight, made history. And this is where our Dr. Wallace, again, California's strict, bro. We have to go to training every 6 months. Andy Foster, the executive officer, he don't play, bro. I'm not changing the subject, but he tells us all, if you drop the ball in a fight, you're going to work again, but you're not going to work for a while. And you're going to explain to me what you did. And you better have a good explanation. He don't play, bro. He don't play. And that's just his style. But that's what, going back to Jack, That's what's called doing the right thing for boxing. And some people were saying, well, you gave him an extra long count. No, he got up on the count. He beat the count. But now, for the safety of the fighter, a fighter, because he's in good condition, he can just stand up and, oh, I'm good. But when our doctors explain to us, when you tell him, walk over there, now they got to make a conscious decision to move that way. And if they're concussed or they're not there, they're not going to be able to do it. And Tyson did it. Tyson Fury did it. That's doing the right thing for boxing. Now, if it's a flash knockdown, give him the 8 count, get back to business. But if it's a hard knockdown, you know what? You got to worry about the fighter. You don't want to take the shine from him, but at the same time, walk over there. Walk over here. Pick up your hands. If he could do this, then he's good to go. Doesn't mean he's okay, but he's functioning. And fighters that are not functioning, you tell them to walk over there, and they look at you in a blank stare. That's when it's over. Or when they try, they're still wobbling. That's when it's over. You know what I mean? And again, in our defense, we got to make this decision like that, bro.
Split second, yep.
You know what I mean? We can't call time and, hey, doc, what do I do? Or, hey, fans, what do I do? And let's be honest, some of our fans, they want brutality, bro. And again, It's a boxing, tough sport. And, you know, I want a good, tough, hard fight, but I don't want nobody to die in my shift, you know? Yeah.
Safety first, exactly. And like what you just said, you know, that's the thing, man. That's the thing, man. This is gets on to my next question and things I have, because we as fans think like that erroneously sometimes, right? But we don't understand how serious what you're saying right now. The 6 months you get this training every 6 months by a doctor, if I'm not mistaken, right? A doctor, and he takes it serious. He's like, hey, man, you know, and he can call it. He can say, look, why he makes refs accountable pretty much for their decisions, you know.
Andy Foster's our executive. He's the final say so. He's the one that you know what were you thinking? You know, why didn't you stop it? You took a little while. You know what I mean? He'll question you, you know. And if you don't have a good explanation to say, you know what, Mr. Foster, I didn't think he was hurt that bad. Okay, you know, as long as the fighter's okay. But you're not going to just walk away and him leave the boss. And then he's the boss. And like he said on the interview, my interview on my Third Man in the Ring, I interviewed Andy Foster. And one thing he does say in the highlights that says that, he goes, we sanction fights, not beatings. And that's the thing. We'll sanction a fight, but we're not going to sanction a beating. And I'm glad, you know, does it get nerve-wracking when he's ringside? Yeah, it does. But you got to step up, bro. You got to step up, you know.
Yeah. And, you know, and that's the thing we don't understand. That's the point I'm getting to, that with all this, that safety first, man, with these fighters, safety first. And we as fans,
to toot my own horn, when we're in the dress room before the fight, I straight out tell the fighter, you know what? If I stop the fight, I'd rather you be mad at me today than your mom hate me tomorrow. You know?
Facts.
If you don't like it, then so be it. You know, if you think I stopped the fight too early, file a complaint with the State Athletic Commission. You can appeal it. You know what I mean? But look, Pritchard Colon. Have you heard of Pritchard Colon, the fighter?
No.
Oh man, watch that fight, brother. It's ugly. And in my podcast, I've never badmouthed the referee, but in my opinion, that referee, I got for him. 9 rabbit punches. And when Cologne kept complaining, he keeps hitting me behind the head, keeps hitting me. Now, mind you, this is my opinion, and I'm not being racist, but I think this African-American referee was playing race card, because the African kid kept hitting him behind the head, and he never did nothing. Finally, Pritchard Colon got so upset, he hit the fighter back in revenge, which was still wrong, one time, and the referee stopped and took a point. And when the round ended, 9 shots, mind you, 9 shots he took to the back of the head. And I'd say 4 of them, I've seen the fight many times, 4 of them were brutal behind the neck. You know, that kind of shot behind the neck, what it does, it separates your spine from your brain. And you know what? He almost died. He's been in a wheelchair for the past 2 years. He can't speak.
Dang, wow.
Look him up. You look Pritchard Colon, Puerto Rican fighter. Look him up on YouTube. It's all over the. And it's just sad that whether you were playing the race card or just being just imbecile and what were you thinking? And he had to be playing the race card for the simple fact he took a point from Pritchard Colon. Well, what happened to the 9 shots that he hit the other fighter with? And it's just so sad because Pritchard Colon will never be the same. He still hasn't spoken. He can smile now. So there's some kind of coherence there. But, you know, his mom's got to watch him for the rest of his life. And again, we need to be held accountable. Me as well. You know what I mean? You know, with my finger pointing at that referee, there's 3 pointing right back at me, you know? And that's just sad, bro. And the reason I say that, because I don't know if you know my son, my youngest son, Adrian Corona, he's a
Oh,
professional.
yeah.
So you know what? Yeah, when he fights, me and his mother just, I'm a nervous wreck, bro. I'm a nervous wreck. I just don't want him to get hurt, you know? I don't care about if he wins. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want him to win. But my prayer is, God, let both fighters walk out on their own, you know? Don't let my son lose his life, and don't let him take nobody's life. But those kind of fights, Pritchard Colon, it just breaks my heart, bro. Breaks my heart, man.
And that's exactly why I wanted to bring this out. What?
That was kind of a tearjerker there.
No, I mean, no, that's why I wanted to bring this out, man. That's the safety of fighters, man. You know, the safety. You guys are watching for the safety. And we as fans, you know, sometimes we don't see that. We don't understand that. Yeah. You know?
And mind you, Renee, some of these fighters come to the fight already hurt. Again, I do MMA as well. MMA fighters don't spar like boxers. They're still great athletes. Don't get me wrong. 2 different total sports. They can't kick somebody in the leg hard and expect that fighter to come the next day and weigh in and fight. They'll be so sore. They can't get a guy in an arm bar and expect him to come in a weigh-ins and fight the next day. They can't take him down and ground and pound him hard and expect him to come. So they go like 50%. If we can somehow tell these trainers in boxing, why not go 50%? But yet, I've been to many gyms when I still train. I always get in the ring and train. And some of these fighters are just trying to kill each other, bro. Boxers. So then they go to the next. They always stop like 4 to 5 days before their fight, no sparring. But by then, they could have a brain bleed still, or they can be recovering from a brain bleed. They're definitely concussed. You know what I mean? And then we think that they're okay because they weigh in after trying to be dehydrated, cutting weight. And this is where our doctors tell us it only takes 24 hours to get your water weight back. 24 hours, but it takes 48 hours for the gel in your brain to come back. So some of these fighters get on the scale and their eyes are way back here. And then you expect them to fight the next day and they got no gel, because that's what your brain sits in, jelly. And when there's no jelly in there because you're dehydrated, you're asking for trouble. And this is where you get punchy fighters. This is where you get fighters that are just, and this is why, even though all 5 of my sons fought, I never wanted any of them to go pro, because I've been in boxing. I'm going to be 60. I've been in boxing since I was like 5 years old, bro. I'd say 60% of boxers after their career have drug issues, anger issues, can't hold down jobs, because again, it's just they've been concussed so many times, you know. And this is why I wish our MMA coaches can talk to our boxing coaches and say, hey, try to go 50%. And I know that would be hard when somebody hits you good and you want to return fire, but let's try to go 50%, you know. But it's just not happening. Boxers just go 100% and then some in sparring. But it's just, you know, it's an ugly sport. It's a brutal sport. But I want the fans to know that part, you know, because some fans are just fans. And then some fans are the type, they go to a gym just to see people spar. they'll see it there. Like, wow, look at how hard they're going. And some fighters get dropped in sparring. You know what I mean? They didn't get dropped because, you know, they didn't feel like taking the punch. They got dropped because they got concussed. That's what getting dropped is. Your brain hits the walls of your
Yep.
your skull, and for a second your legs go out. That's what a knockdown is. So when they do that in sparring, I'm sorry. Oh my God. Can you
No,
hear
it's
me, sir?
okay. Yeah, of
There you
course. Yeah. Go ahead. Go
when
ahead. Go
they
ahead. You're
when they do that in sparring, brother, you know, it's like, and you know, that just I want the fans to know that, you know what I mean?
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Teach says right here. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. It's the safety of the fighters, fam. You know what I'm saying? When we see fights and we see a ref call it off, and you know the fighters getting beat down, we got to consider this. The ref sees things that we don't see. They got to make second decisions. You know, it's just a lot to it. They got to look for this fighter's safety, you know, their health and well-being, and you know, it's just a lot to it, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, me as a fan, it's helping me learn and grow more, and respecting refs what they do, man. Teach says here, Arias got up late on a late count last week versus Lubin. What did you see that fight, ref? Arias versus Lubin?
No, no. What happened?
Arias, I think it was a case where Arias he got up late, yeah, on a late count, and Lubin, I think the ref called it off. He was like, you know, it's over because Lubin
Oh, you
was
gotta
just beat.
see the
Yeah,
highlight. Now,
yeah,
mind you,
Lubin was beating him up.
the okay, you know what I mean? So obviously the referee, and again, I'm only giving my opinion because I didn't actually watch the whole fight. But if he's getting beat up, he gets dropped. When you're at the count of 10, you need to be standing up, not getting up. Did you hear the difference? You got to be standing up, not getting up. So if you're getting beat the crap out of and you're getting up at 10, you're out, bro. You're out. I'm looking for a reason to get you out. You can stomp your feet and make the big show, but I'm getting a reason to take you out. Now again, I'm not being contradictive. If it was a flash knockdown and you're winning the fight, in my opinion, I'm not judging, and it's a flash knockdown and I go 9, 10, and you're getting up, I'll warn you. You do that again, I'm going to disqualify you, or I'll call you out and continue. You know what I mean? But if he was losing, the referee did the right thing. You know what I mean? And let me speak on the judges, even though a lot of us kind of, you know, criticize the judges. My best opinion to you fans, you know, I love it that you watch a sport, but the best opinion, it'll be a little different. Turn off the volume the next championship fight. Turn off the volume. Make sure you get your scorecards. Get 12 scorecards or 10, whatever rounds it is. And it's a 10-9 must system. You can't say, oh, that was a draw. You can't do that. They pay the judges to pick a winner. You can't say it's a draw. Is it fair to those fighters that for 8 weeks they've been running, cutting weight, training, and you're going to give them a draw? The rule says a 10-9. If there's a knockdown, 10-8. So next time, watch a fight. As soon as that bell rings, give your score. Put that card to the side. You'd be surprised at the end of the 12 rounds. Like, wow. After you put up all the scores, you're like, wow, he did win. Even though fighter A in the last 4 rounds just looks spectacular, right away you say, oh, he won. No, look at all the score. And you're like, wow, he did win. But there has been some mess ups. The Tank Davis, Ryan
Yeah, I
Garcia.
was gonna mention that. Yeah,
There's no 10-10 round, guys. There's no 10-10 round. I'm sorry. I know the judge. I respect him highly. And again, like me, when I drop the ball, and it will come one day, you know what I mean? Show me grace, guys. But in that instant, and I'm going to quote you, Andy Foster from California said, he won't work, Ray, for a little while. He's not going to work, that judge. You know what I mean?
whoa.
Yeah. And those were his exact words. And the other 2 judges still gave him 10-9. What happened to the knockdown? That was supposed to be a 10-8. That had to be, it'd be different if Garcia got up and started beating the hell out of Tank. Or
Right.
maybe, okay, that's an argument. I gave him a 10-9, even though, but like Andy Foster says, like the ABC rule, Jack Reese says, It's like hitting a home run in that inning. You can't take that away from him, bro. And he knocked down Garcia. That's a 10-8 round. And then we all know, even after he knocked him out, Garcia didn't do anything after that round. So why they did that, they brought it upon themselves. I wish them the best of luck. They're still great judges. But like Andy Foster said, you're not going to work for a little while. You're going to be punished. It's not the end of the world, but you're going to be punished because it goes in baseball, it goes in football, it goes in boxing, MMA. You're only remembered for your last fight. And if you're fighting Rene for a big fight, do you want that judge that just gave a 10-10 round judging your
Heck
fight?
no.
So, we need to be held accountable. And I personally think, let's go back to the 80s and 70s. They used to put the judges' faces before the fight. Let's hold them accountable as well as they hold a referee accountable. And that's not saying to get them in trouble, but at least you could say, my face is up there. These people know me. So you know what? I don't know what happened that day. I can't speak for them. I asked them to come on my show. None of them replied. But that's only to say, I don't know why. I wasn't going to try to belittle them. But you know what? I have a show that's going to show a referee's perspective. You're willing to come on, But that's my opinion on that, guys. The fans judge a fight like that and see how it goes. See how it goes.
Definitely. Once again, I see you, Just Do, my guy. I see you, bro. Those who are jumping in, and also again, playback. Here it is. Again, here the link to the ref's YouTube channel. You gotta check that sucker out. Check it out. Gems on that channel. Okay. Like I said, I'm gonna put it in the link in the description right after this show. A little bit later today, I'm gonna put the link so y'all can go subscribe to the ref. Okay, please do it. So we got here real quick, man. Teach saying here, if it's that dangerous, do you blame the commission? Why don't they do weigh-ins 2 days earlier then? 2 days earlier. All right. When it comes to rehydration and stuff like that. I don't know, Ref. What do you think about that?
You know what? It wouldn't bother me, but now you jump to the other side of the coin. Some fighters can put on 30 pounds easy. And what if the other fighter can't put on 30 pounds easy? He only puts on 5.
Right.
Now you have a 135 coming up to 147 and the other 135 only come up to 140. He's still 7 pounds lighter. It's a hard pill to swallow, fans, and I totally respect your opinion. But this is why Andy Foster, again, our boss from California, he literally, in the state of California, if Rene, you come in weighing the day of weigh-ins at 135 and you put on 12, 15 pounds more the next day because you weigh in the same day of the fight, if you come in 12 to 15 pounds heavier, he's going to tell you the next fight you will not fight at 135. You're going to fight at 140.
Whoa.
Because the doctors already know medically you have damaged your kidneys. Medically, your brain is not ready to fight. And that's in California. And Andy's making that a law. And that's why Andy Foster looks out for the fighters in California. To take my hat off to the boss. California is the only state that has a pension for MMA and boxers. A pension, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm a big union guy. I'm from the Teamsters. How many states can say that? And there used to be a $1 contract. Andy Foster stopped that. I'm not going to mention any names, but some promoters would pay, you know what? I'll pay you to come from Mexico, Argentina. I'll pay for your flight, pay for your meals, pay for your hotel. You fight that day and I'll give you $20. And they were calling the state, I can't get home. How do I get home? Andy Foster put a stop to that. That's looking out for your fighters. You know what I mean? That's looking out for your fighters. Because in some states, the promoters do that. Come fight for me, man. I'll pay to get you over here. I'll pay for your hotel room. I'll pay for your food. And then because of the $1 contract, you got $100, bro. Now, how are they supposed to get home to Argentina or Panama or Mexico on $100?
Dang, bro. Wow.
California don't play, bro. Andy Foster put a stop to all that, Minimum, you're going to get $800 for a 4-round fight. Minimum. You know what I mean? Then the world titles, that can go up to millions there. So I'm really proud of our state that Andy Foster really looks out for everybody. He looks out for us, the promoters. He looks out for the fighters, and he's just. This is why California is the Golden State, brother.
Dang, man. Wow. Thank you guys so much for jumping in the bill, man. I see you, Chris the Plumber. I see you, Demetrius Bright, man. Hey,
Chris Plumber. I need a plumber right now. Where's he at, bro?
there you go. Chris the Plumber. Go ahead and DM right here. You're
Kitchen sink, brother. Just saw I'm having issues with it.
Oh, man. Chris the Plumber, you in California, go hook up with the ref, man. Go to his Instagram. He has Instagram. What's your Instagram, Ray?
Ref Popey Ray.
Ref Popey Ray. Chris the Plumber. If you're in Cali, hook up with him. Go DM him on Instagram. Chris, okay? Chris the Plumber. Ref Popey Ray. Okay. So there you go. If you're in Cali, teach. Well, if it takes about 48 hours to get the fluid back in your brain, what should be more safer than a guy putting back on 30 pounds? Make it a 48-hour with the rehydration clause. And yeah, I mean, it can be. I mean, there's solutions.
There you go. There is there is solutions, but again, there's always going to be that fighter that just, you know, look at my son. He'll drop this weight to 135, and his best meal is a big bowl of pasta because all those carbs.
There you go. Yeah.
He'll literally go up to 141. You know, he'll put on 6 pounds overnight. But some fighters' bodies are just different. They go eat a bowl of pasta, they'll shoot up to 147. Is that fair to that fighter? But you're totally right. Because of their brain, we got to figure out something. And Andy Foster's always working with the doctors. And these are not just Joe Blow doctors. These are brain surgeons. You know what I mean? And he's always figuring out what's the safer way to get these fighters to fight at their decent weight and to be safe. You know what I mean?
It's a complex situation, especially when it comes to health and the anatomy of a human being. And I'm saying him from person to person. Chris the Plumber says he's in Cali. Hey, go get him on Instagram, bro. Go get him. One more time, Ray.
Ref Popey Ray.
Ref Popey Ray. Chris the Plumber. Go get him on Instagram and DM him, and you can go help him out with the plumbing, and y'all can talk some boxing there.
Oh.
All right, bro. I don't want to take any more of your time. I know you're jet lag, my guy. Where can they follow you? We just saw it on Instagram. And what's your YouTube channel? I got the link right there already. But what's the name of the YouTube channel?
Third Man in the Ring. Or you can even go Ref Popey Ray on YouTube, and it comes up as well. Please, guys, push subscribe and tell your friends. You know, you're hearing the perspective of us, and I can interview retired fighters. I cannot interview active fighters. So my next interview is Chris Lieben, the MMA fighter, the Red Fireball. I call him the Red Fireball because he was a crazy fool. But I'm going to be going up to San Diego in a week to go interview him. But I did Fernando Vargas. So yeah, guys, please subscribe to my page. And just on Sunday nights, I'm going to start going live on YouTube. To be honest, Renee, I want to be pretty much the Joe Rogan, the Chicano Joe Rogan. If that's,
heck yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to talk about everything, you know. Again, I'm a Christian. So with that said, I want to talk about my walk, my marriage. We could talk about anything, you know what I mean? All you people that want to be negative, my page ain't for you, brother. But if you want to talk, I can take criticism, you know what I mean? But when I try to school you on my Christian walk, remember there's 3 fingers pointing back at me. So I'm not going to sit there and be judgmental. And if you want to talk about boxing, MMA, let's do it, man. And again, I'll be talking Sunday about Renee's page. So one hand washes another, and we need to help each other, bro.
Yeah,
thank you, Renee. Appreciate it.
No, thank you, man. You're jet lag. You came from that fight in Taiwan, man. Thank you, man. So, yeah, definitely we'll be in contact. If you can just stay backstage just for 1 minute, okay, Popeye, real quick. And just for last words, thank you guys so much, man. There you go. Ref, the OG, Ray Corona. Go find him on Instagram. There's the link right there. YouTube. Oh, you see it, Teach? Good stuff right there. Go sub, go share it up, man. So RENEBOXYOUNG, a platform where we simply discuss, critique, analyze, simply talk about sport of boxing in a level-headed, mature, coherent fashion. Thank you guys so much. And thank you so much once again, OG Ref, Ray Corona. Thank you so much, my guy. Peace out, fam.